on Hawaiian punch. Oh, you like all this gush? Oh no, you can't get enough. Sipping on Hawaiian punch.
Hey, my name is Adeline Warren, and you're listening to Girl Talk. I like to say that I'm the big sister of the internet. You can watch me fuck up all you want, but hey, maybe we can learn something from it. I hope you enjoy. Woo! Look at my outfit. Girl, if you're watching the video version, look at my outfit today. She means business today. You saw the title. Today, we're going to be talking about things that I've learned being friends with millionaires in their 20s. And the advice that I'm about to give you, I swear to God, this shit, like I wish that someone would have told me, and I wish that I knew earlier, because the shit that I'm about to tell you, they don't even teach you this in school. They don't even teach you this like in any like business course or anything like that. Like this is all just like personal experience that I've seen and that I've acknowledged and like noticed with people who are millionaires in their 20s. And I don't know, I think that it's like really cool, and I feel like there's not enough females talking about business and like other business partners and blah, 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 blah. And like, there needs to be more of that, because there's so many fucking like men like with microphones. I can't fucking deal with it. But when you start a business, when you start doing the things that you love, when you start becoming into that like millionaire circle and that millionaire status, these are things that I've just noticed and things that I've seen in common with my millionaire friends and business owners, and like, I don't know, just like things that I've kind of like picked up on and things that I want to integrate into my life. And like, hopefully, if you want to be like them, then you can integrate into your life too. Thanks to ZocDoc for sponsoring this episode of Girl Talk. And if you don't already know, ZocDoc is a free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them and treat almost every condition under the sun. Go on ZocDoc.com/girltalk and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/girltalk. ZocDoc.com/girltalk. Thanks to Lumi for sponsoring this episode of Girl Talk. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers will get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with the code GIRLTALK at LumiDeodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit LumiDeodorant.com and use the code GIRLTALK. One more time, get $5 off your starter pack at LumiDeodorant.com and use the code GIRLTALK. Thanks to Keen for sponsoring this episode of Girl Talk. Keen provides users with a psychic advisor who can answer all your burning questions about love, relationships, career, family, and more. So give Keen a try, and I will too. Head to keen.com/girltalk and get your first 10 minutes connecting with a psychic advisor for just $1.99. Again, that's keen.com/girltalk for your first 10 minutes for just $1.99. Remember, this offer applies to the first 10 minutes of your call or chat with Keen Advisor and is valid for new customers only. But I have like 10 things that I wrote down. Damn, I got a lot of things. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. Number 1, they focus on their identity work over the perfect career. So what I mean by that is, instead of asking themselves like, how do I make more money? They ask themselves, what do I need to do to become the person that makes more money? And I feel like this kind of like shift from how do I make more money? How chasing these goals, chase. It's like you're always going to be chasing, and it's going to be exhausting, and it's going to be tiring. You're going to get burnt out. A lot of people that make a lot of money, they ask themselves, how do I become the person that makes a lot of money? Are you going to be doing all of your manual labor? Are you going to be, doing everything yourself? You're not hiring other people to do the tasks that you don't necessarily need to do. Like, I don't think that Bill Gates makes his own fucking computers, and I don't think that Jeff Bezos is packing your Amazon orders after every single order. Are you becoming the type of person, and in that might mean like, are you becoming a boss? Are you learning how to manage people? Are you learning how to, better prioritize your time? Are you reading self-help books and blah, 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 blah? I feel like this is just as important as having a good business. Becoming a good boss is just as important as having a good business, in my opinion. So I don't know. Are you asking yourselves, how do I make more money? Or are you asking yourself, who do I need to become in order to make more money? You know? Number 2, I put all of them quit their jobs to start their businesses. When you work at a job, your boss decides basically how much you make. And when you're your own boss, you basically get to decide and you're in charge of your own products or services. And I know that we all don't have like the privilege to be doing this. And it sounds super crazy, but we can all start with, dipping our toes in the waters. And I always say, obviously don't have all of your eggs in one basket. And it's really scary to just quit your job and pursue something and do something that's unknown. But you can always do something on the side. Even when I started doing YouTube, I wasn't working. I was a student, but I didn't just quit my, being a student to do YouTube. I was a student and I finished being a student. And then once I was finished that, I became a YouTuber and started doing it more full time. And I was like, you know what? College is always going to be there for me. College, no matter what, I could be 30 years old, I could be 40, I could be 50. I could always go back to college. But this YouTube thing, it's now. If I stop doing it now, I'm never going to get it back ever again. So that was the advice that my dad gave to me. And I'm so happy that I listened to it because it was life-changing. And it's the reason why I even have the career that I have today. But ask yourself, what are you passionate about? Are you really putting your heart and soul into it? I feel like also sometimes I feel like when something is my job, because I just feel like I'm a very creative person, and when something is my job and I have to do it, I'm not as passionate about it. So I feel like when I was a student and doing YouTube was kind of like a pastime and it was like a hobby and it wasn't my job, I was so passionate about it. I was like, I can't fucking wait till the day that I don't have to be a student or the day that you don't have to work and I could just do this full time. And then once I finally got to be able to do it full time, it almost became a chore sometimes. And then, that's when I started doing my vlog channel. And then suddenly my vlog channel became bigger than my main channel. And then that became my job. And I was like, oh, I don't know, when something is something that you have to do, it almost becomes a chore to me, at least. So that's when I started doing music. And then, now I'm doing my podcast. It's I feel as a business owner, it's you will always, always, always have that little spark inside of you that just wants to create that startup, that wants to do something new, that wants to have that little side hustle. So even if you don't have the privilege to, quit your job and focus on your career and focus on your business because you're really passionate about it, that's totally okay. And I don't know, I put that number 2 tip of advice of all of them kind of quit their jobs and start their own business because this is something that I've noticed. But if you don't have the privilege to do it, I didn't do it. I didn't quit everything to do my job. But I think that there's something to that because I've noticed that with all of the people that I've met is that all of them quit their jobs to start doing their business. I don't know. they all have that entrepreneur mind, and always wanting just to, create that startup and wanting to do something new. Number 3, I put they know the difference between rich and wealthy. This is so important and something that nobody taught me when I first started making money is that there's a huge difference between rich and wealthy. Rich means how much you make a month. Wealthy means how many months you have to sustain yourself if you stopped working tomorrow. So, for example, say someone, is doing YouTube, for example, and they're making so much fucking money a month. They're ballers, so fucking cool. They're buying designer bags and blah, blah, blah. And they're so fucking rich and buying nice Porsches and nice cars and blah, 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 blah. That's rich. Wealthy is if YouTube died or you stopped working, how long would you be able to live your lifestyle and sustain that lifestyle? So do you have investments? Do you have real estate? Are you renting that real estate out? Do you have other streams of income? Is it only that thing? Diversifying your income is so important. And I think we're going to get to that soon. But I don't know, realizing the difference between rich and wealthy has really made me almost kind of like look at people differently, because it's so cool to have like a fast car, and it's so cool to have like the newest like Chanel bag, and it's so cool to like have these crazy cool designer things that like not everybody can have. But realizing the difference between rich and wealthy, to me, it almost like makes people that like are flashy and like crazy and like super like, I don't know, they spend all of their money on like, crazy outlandish shit. It just kind of made me like, realize that they're not as rich as you think. They're not wealthy, they're rich. I don't know. It's kind of like you put them in a different category of, kind of irresponsible with their money as opposed to, responsible with their money and wealthy. I don't know. Number 4, they focus on having multiple streams of income and passive income as opposed to one stream of income. They say that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income, and the average American has 1 stream of income. And it's easier to focus on one thing instead of doing 7 things at once. So that's what I mean by that is to not have 7 jobs. You don't need to have 7 jobs. 7 jobs is absolutely fucking crazy. What I mean is to have maybe 1 job and 6 streams of passive income. So at least like to give like an example, for me, I have like obviously my social media job that it takes up my time. It's like my labor, it's like my work, and time is the most valuable thing that you could give to anyone. And I give my time to YouTube. So that's my like main stream of income. I have other incomes that also require effort and also require work, like, my merch and my podcast and my videos on Facebook that are getting repurposed onto Facebook, and my brand deals. And then, I have passive income that I don't even have to think about. Like I have stocks, and I have, like S&P 500. I have mutual funds. I have, real estate. I rent out that real estate. There's so many different ways to get passive income. Like say you have like a car that you don't really use. You can always go on Turo and rent that out. And you can always, if you have a nice camera, you can always go on like websites to rent out your cameras to people who want to use it. I also feel like creating these multiple sources of income just made me less stressed about my job doing well, because obviously you guys know YouTube, that views go up and views go down and blah blah blah, algorithms change, blah 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 blah. You literally can never predict what YouTube is going to be like in 5 years, and like I'm literally just hoping and praying that y'all want to be along the journey with me, and like y'all want to have some fun and keep on watching me. But you literally never know. And there's like YouTube creators that I've literally watched from day fucking 1, and I still watch them to this day. And like they're like my ride or die, like fucking Zoella. I fucking love that bitch. I've been watching Zoella for so fucking long. And then there's people that I like kind of like go in seasons, and I'll like watch them like 1 year, and then you kind of forget about them the next year, and then the next year you're like, oh shit, like this is cool, like they just bought a new house. So like you never really watch them, and then oh shit, like they're having a baby, like let's watch them. It's like sometimes I feel like I watch people in seasons, and then there's some people that I kind of just like watch and like never hear from again. So social media is like so unexpected. Diversifying your income and making sure that you have different sources of income other than your like main source of income, it just relieves the pressure of like, okay, you know what, my vlog didn't do that well today, but I know it's going to be doing well tomorrow. Like I know it's going to be fine, it's going to bounce back. And I feel like when I only had that one stream of income, if one video did bad, I would spiral. I'd be like, my career is over and nobody likes me, and like, oh my god, like and like it doesn't have to be just YouTube. It could be like your like corporate job, your 9 to 5. It could be your sales if you have a business. It could be anything. And everybody has their good days, everybody has their bad days. I'm sure Kylie Cosmetics has their bad days and they don't sell out a product. You're just like, my career is over. But I am for fucking sure, I know Kylie has so many streams of income. Fucking Kylie baby, fucking Kylie swim, Kylie makeup, Kylie everything, Kylie fucking vibrators. I'm sure that she's gonna come out with something like that soon. And I'm sure she has real estate. I'm sure she has investments. I'm sure she has all these crazy things. And knows all the crazy rich person loopholes with taxes and stuff like that. But definitely 100% really look into diversifying your income. And I have a podcast episode on investing and everything like that and things that I wish I knew when I started making money. So if you are interested in this kind of stuff, definitely want to listen to it after this episode. Then I put number 5, they all actively invest in themselves and have mentors to help them grow. The most successful people tend to be hard on themselves, and they always know that they have room for improvement instead of being satisfied with right now or thinking that they know everything. Bitch, isn't that fucking true? Isn't it the dumbest people that act like know-it-alls? Like, I swear to fucking God, like, it's always the dumbest people that think that they know everything. Real, true millionaires and, smart people. I even saw something that said, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and Bill Gates, they're constantly reading books and learning new things every single day. Real rich people, real entrepreneurs know that their mind just doesn't know everything. You can learn something from every single person. I'm pretty sure that, Elon Musk can learn something from a waiter that he's just at a restaurant with. Every single entrepreneur that I know knows that they can learn from someone. They can learn something from someone. They can learn something from a book. They can learn something from an experience. No, they never think that they are know-it-all. They're never know-it-alls. They never think that they know it all. They know that they can always constantly be learning. And I think I saw something that said I think it was Bill Gates reads 50 books a year, which I think that's one book a fucking week, which honestly that's kind of a lot. And he's not reading the little beep boop and bop Colleen Hoover books that are 100 200 pages. That bitch is reading really crazy intense fucking books that are 500 fucking pages long. You could always keep learning. You always put that time into yourself and investing in your mind and investing in your brain. I think that's super, super, super important. Thanks to ZocDoc for sponsoring this episode of Girl Talk. When you find the right doctor, it's something that you can feel. And that's what's so great about ZocDoc, because on ZocDoc, finding the right doctor is seamless. And if you don't already know, ZocDoc is a free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them and treat almost every condition under the sun. We should all probably be going to the doctor more often to get a checkup, but we'd probably put it off because making an appointment could be such a hassle. But now that I use ZocDoc to find and book all of my appointments, it's no longer a struggle to go to the doctor. And to you, I know that you're using your phone or laptop within arm's reach, so you have no excuse. Open up the app or go online and make your appointment now. Millions of people use ZocDoc's free app to find and book a doctor in their neighborhood who is patient reviewed and fits their needs and schedules just right. So do it now. Be one of those millions that go on ZocDoc.com/girltalk and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/girltalk. ZocDoc.com/girltalk. Thanks to Lumi for sponsoring this episode of Girl Talk. Lumi is the first of its kind whole body deodorant, and they seriously mean your whole body. You can use this stuff anywhere, your pits, privates, and beyond. Plus, it's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. And you guys, this stuff works. I've been using Lumi pretty consistently nowadays. I'm starting to love it. Right now, I'm using the lavender sage scent, and besides smelling good, it makes me feel really good. After using it, I just feel a lot cleaner and confident knowing that any potential odors are not going to be an issue. So if you want to give it a try, which I highly recommend you do, Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers will get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with the code GIRLTALK at LumiDeodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit LumiDeodorant.com and use the code GIRLTALK. One more time, get $5 off your starter pack at LumiDeodorant.com and use the code GIRLTALK. Number 6, I put they have an abundance mindset. They give, whether it's to charity, out of kindness, out of their heart, or even if it's like a tax write-off. They have a purpose for doing their job, and they do it at the end of the day because nothing matters if you don't have a purpose. And by abundance mindset, I kind of talked about this in my How I Became a Lucky Person vlog, where I told you guys a bunch of mantras and affirmations that I tell myself that to convince myself and to really affirm myself that I'm a lucky person. having an abundance mindset is kind of the same thing, always knowing that the universe has your back. Everything will work out no matter what. If this doesn't work out, you know that at the end of the day, it's going to work out. Actually, the best way that I could describe it to you is the difference between an abundance mindset and a lacking mindset is a lacking mindset is always thinking of things that they lack. Like, oh, fuck, I'm not a millionaire. Oh, fuck, I'm not a billionaire. Oh, fuck, I wasn't born with a trust fund. Oh, shit, I'm always lacking. I don't have these things. I will never have these things. This is like a lacking mindset, whereas an abundance mindset is, okay, maybe I wasn't born in a trust fund and I don't have like gazillions of dollars to spend and I'm not like, born into this lucky family and trust fund, but hey, the world is my oyster. And I know that anything that I want, I can attract. And I know that manifesting is super easy for me. And I know whatever I want, I'm going to be able to achieve it. And maybe I'm going to fail, but I know that at the end of the day, I'm always going to succeed. And maybe I'm not going to hit 100% of my goal, but hell yeah, I'm going to hit at least 80 or 90. This is more so like an abundance mindset where it's just like focusing on kind of like the brighter side of things. And it's also just being grateful for the things that you already have. You guys know, I always constantly preach this is the universe is obsessed with a grateful heart. The more that you're grateful for things, the more that the universe can bring to you to be grateful for. So say, writing down a list of things that you're grateful for in your journal every single day. I'm grateful for the roof above my head. I'm grateful for the phone that I'm watching this video on. I'm grateful for the freedom of speech and being able to speak my mind. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my dog, and I'm grateful for my big fat juicy fucking ass. Just writing down all of the things that you're grateful for. And I swear to you, constantly reminding yourself of the things that you're grateful for, the universe will keep giving you things to be grateful for. The universe is so obsessed with a grateful mind, and I don't know why, but it fucking works. And I swear if you do this, you'll attract more abundance into your life. And number 7, I just have to say this because I've seen it and it's not 100% of the time. Sometimes it works out for people and sometimes it doesn't. But if it does work out for you, I swear you're the exception to the rule. But I put number 7, they don't mix family and business. It never ends well, and it goes with friends, and it goes with significant others. And I know people are going to be like, well, me and my significant other have this business, and we're successful together. We're like, bitch, good for you. You're the exception to the rule. I've seen so many people get fucked over by their partners, get fucked over by their family, get fucked over by their friends. It just happens. But I 100% used to mix my family and my relationship life and, a lot of things in my business. And that doesn't just mean like, oh, I vlogged my family. It was like, my family was helping me with my business. My family was helping me with my taxes. My family was helping me with this. My family was helping me with that. And if I could give my 16-year-old younger self any advice, I'd be like, bitch, don't work with your family. I would have saved literally hundreds of thousands of dollars, like so much fucking money, because I didn't grow up with rich parents, and like they didn't know all the rich person life hacks of like how to save money with taxes and how to do this and like do things professionally. Like my dad used to do my taxes and he would do it by hand, and like it's like I feel like taxes where you're making a good amount of money should be done by a professional, and you should have a corporation, and you should be writing things off, and you should, do all of the like rich person life hacks that like people you hire know, and your family just won't. And I also think just like mixing family with business can like create a little bit of tension, because like, you're mean to your family sometimes. We're all a little bit mean to our family sometimes, and it like causes tension in the family. And I just feel like it's really, really, really hard to mix family and business, pleasure and business, friends and business, partners and business. Really, really, really hard. But hey, it's really hard, but is it doable? Yeah. But if I could go back, I would tell myself 100%, Adeline girl, don't be working with your family. Say, hey family, you know what? I love you. I appreciate you. I admire you. You're amazing. You're spectacular. I don't know. But I just heard that, you shouldn't be mixing family and business, and I don't want things to get messy, and I love you guys, and I never want, any sort of money or anything to get in between us. And for that reason, I just want to hire a business manager, or I just want to hire a manager. I want to hire this person, and I don't want to mix family and business because, it gets a little bit sticky. You know how sticky it gets sometimes, as Drake could say. But yeah, mixing family and business, I wish I knew that, but you live and you learn. And now I know and now I have a really good business manager, and they save me a lot of money on my taxes, and it's good. I could have saved so much money, but it's okay. Number 8, I put, they have a corporation and a good lawyer. We spend so much time in school, and they don't fucking teach us how to do our taxes. Why don't they teach us how to do that shit? I swear they do that on purpose so that we fill it out wrong and we do it bad. Just basically know that once you start making a good amount of money, a huge chunk of your money, probably 40 to 50% of your money, will go to taxes unless you get a good business manager or have a corporation or have a good lawyer. So instead of, shopping on Amazon for a little good write-off, shop for a good lawyer to save you literally so much fucking money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is when having good, people in business and good, cool friends that are in business really comes into play, because it's so awesome to be able to ask your friend, hey, do you have any good lawyer recommendations? Hey, do you have any good business manager recommendations? Hey, do you have any blah, blah, blah recommendations? Because having recommendations helps so much. There's so many times where I'm trying to find a good lawyer. I'm trying to find a good this. I'm trying to find a good that. And if I just had a person or had a friend that was in the same field that I was, and they really took business seriously and blah, 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 I think I would have saved so much money. And it's so stupid. I wish, I would basically talk to my YouTube friends about it and be like, yo, you guys, are you spending this much on taxes? And they're like, dude, what? What the fuck? Because I would give half of my money to taxes, and they'd be like, girl, Adeline, you just need to get a corporation, get a good business manager, get a good lawyer. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll do that. And year upon year, I would kind of put it off, and I'd be like, oh, I don't know, I just spend so much on taxes. I don't know, poor me. I don't know why me. Why am I always spending so much money on taxes? But it's because I was a dumb bitch, and I mixed family and business, and I feel my family was really passionate about the money that I was making, and they're like, no, Adeline, trust me, I promise I'm writing everything off, I'm doing the best that I can, I'm saving us a lot of money, blah, 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 blah. But if I would have listened to my friends that were in the same field that I was, and I would have gotten a corporation, I would have gotten a business manager, I would have gotten a lawyer, I probably would have saved a lot of money. And it's just so awkward because you work with your family, and you don't want to fire your family. How awkward is that? So if you have the privilege to not even work with your family in the first place, girl, I would fucking do that. Don't mix family and business. But yeah, number 9, I put, they invest in property rather than rent. But here's the thing about that is, I read this book. It's called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he basically talks about how having a house is more so a liability as opposed to an asset. And the reason why he says that is because an asset is something that puts money into your pocket, whereas a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. So the only reason why they say that having a house is kind of bad is because, you're putting that money, and it's as much as people say that, oh, when you're paying rent, rent is just money going down the drain, blah, 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 blah. At least when you have a house, you have that money at the end of the day, and you're able to sell your house, and the house goes up in value, and blah, 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 blah. But we always need to take in consideration property taxes, maintenance. Maintenance is so fucking expensive with houses. There's so many land transfer fees. What the fuck? There's so many extra hidden fees when having a house that it's almost the same as having to rent. But one thing that's really cool about a house is you can always get a duplex, and you can always if you have a basement, it has a separate entrance. You can always rent that out. And then it's almost like your tenant is paying for your mortgage and that money is going into your pocket, which is becoming an asset. So it's really whatever you prefer. I personally love real estate. So I love investing in real estate. But if it's something that you don't even give a fuck about, don't bother and just rent. But I always tell people that if you want to invest in something, make sure that you like it, because investing, you want to learn about it and you want to be obsessed with it. Real estate, I've never gotten into stocks. I've never been interested in stocks. I never really cared about it. I hire someone to do my stocks and my investing for me, but I never really gave that much of a fuck about stocks. Same with NFTs, and I never gave a fuck about, these fads and trends and whatever. But some people are really passionate about it, and some people really give a fuck about it, and they love stocks and they make so much money on stocks, and that's all that matters. If someone doesn't like real estate and they're trying to get into real estate, they're not going to do well. If someone is obsessed with real estate like I am, and they are obsessed with it, they do all of the research, they watch real estate books, or they read real estate books, they real estate documentaries on Netflix, blah, 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 blah. They're so obsessed with it. That's when you know you're going to be successful. So only invest in things that you genuinely really like and that you are genuinely really interested in. I don't know. And then number 10, I put, they surround themselves with other successful people. And I'm not saying ditch the homegirl Sarah that was with you since day one. That girl's a ride or die. Keep that bitch forever. But what I'm saying is you become the 3 people that you hang around the most. So say that you're hanging out with Joe, who's a couch potato, and all he does is watch Netflix all day. And he shows up to his 9 to 5, and he has no motivation. He doesn't want to go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. Who do you think you're going to be like if you're always surrounding yourself with people like that? What do you think you're going to be like, as opposed to, hey, you hang out with, Joanne, and Joanne is really fucking successful, and she has a business, and she's always staying busy. She's investing in her brain. She's reading really a lot of books. She's investing in her physical health. And by the way, I didn't even add this to the list, but a lot of entrepreneurs and millionaires that I've met also really invest in their physical health as well as their mental health, because I don't know what it is. Being in good physical health, it just makes your brain healthier. And I always say that your brain is like a muscle, and you need to really fuel it and feel it. And what's my quote that I have on my vision board? I just have, the brain is a muscle and understanding is joyous. But if you're surrounding yourself with girls like Joanne, and they're working out, they're reading books, they're always wanting to be a better version of themselves, as opposed to, the couch potato that they're just a know-it-all, and they're oh, nah. And she's, traveling, and she's meeting other entrepreneurs, and she's going to conventions, she's finding mentors, she's investing her money. She could give you genuine advice about investing, which I always say, don't ever take investing advice from your friends. Always do that research on your own. But I feel if you're always surrounding yourself with cool people that are in the same field that you are, that are successful, they always say that if you're working for someone that you don't eventually want to be, don't work for them. Because, you want to surround yourself with people that you want to eventually be. If someone has something that you have, DM them. Become their friend. I don't know. I feel I always get so nervous, and I'm oh my God, this person is so cool. I don't know. If I DM them, they're probably not going to respond. They're going to think that I'm so weird and pathetic for reaching out. But I never think that. I see people reaching out in my DMs all the time, and they're asking to hang out, and obviously you only have 24 hours in a day, and I'm the type of person where I literally have 2 friends, so it's I can't respond to everyone, but I never think that. And just reach out to people. If someone has something that you have, whether that's success, whether that's money, whether that's this or that, or you want to learn something from someone, just reach out to them, because if the worst thing that can happen is nothing, then you might as well fucking do it. But yeah, this is kind of a bonus tip, and we kind of already touched on it, but I also feel every single entrepreneur, millionaire that I've met also invests in their physical health. They always say that health is wealth, and as long as you're healthy, you have everything in the world that you could ever imagine. I don't know. I feel like go to the doctor. Make sure you go to your doctor's visits. Go to the dentist. I know that we don't all like the dentist, but you got to invest in your health. Make sure that you don't have a root canal or something like that. That shit can affect you. Go to the gym. Go, to a nutrition. Start like learning about new foods that you can make. Go to a cooking class. Go to a nutrition class. Like, health is wealth. And I feel like I've seen Bill Gates talk about this so much. He's always like, health is wealth, health is wealth, health is wealth, because you can be the richest man in the world, but you can't pay someone to take over your dying body or like your unhealthy body. You can't pay someone to, take your sickness or anything like that. Like, your health is wealth. And as long at the end of the day, if you just have health, you have everything in the entire world. And I think that's definitely something to be grateful for. Yeah, that's all of my tips that I could give you guys about, all the things that I've noticed from really cool entrepreneurs and really rich people. And like, you guys, they don't teach this shit in school. Like, I've taken business courses and like I have friends that have been to school for business and blah, 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 blah. They don't teach this shit. This shit comes from like real life experiences. So I hope that all the things that I've learned, I hope that, you can kind of take away with you, and like, hopefully you've learned something from this podcast episode. But I love talking about, finance shit. And like, if you guys have any other finance questions or like anything like that, I asked you guys, I was like, what are some girl talk, podcast episodes that you guys would want me to talk about? And you guys were like, finance, talk about finance. I even had like a girl go up to me. She was so fucking cool. I was at the Louis Vuitton store and I was walking out and she goes up to me. She's dripping. She's wearing a Dior coat. I remember she was like so fucking cool. She's like, Adeline, I love your videos, but I have to tell you something. You need to do more finance videos. Like, I eat that shit up. I love that shit. Like, you need to be making more videos like that. And I never forgot that girl. Like, she's so cool. She's like, Adeline, I really take your advice with like finance. Like, please make more finance videos. So let me know if there's any other, finance advice or finance videos that you want me to make, because I would love, 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 love to do that. I love anything finance. And like, it's honestly like what I spend a lot of my spare time doing is just like researching and like, trying to become a better version of myself. And like, how do I make more money? And like, how do I, create more passive income and blah, 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 blah. If you do like these types of podcasts, then definitely listen to my other two that I made as well. But yeah. Thanks to Keen for sponsoring this episode of Girl Talk. I'm so excited to tell you guys about this one because I've been connecting with my spiritual side lately, learning more and more about astrology, and with Keen, dig deeper into that side because Keen provides users with a psychic advisor who can answer all your burning questions about love, relationships, career, family, and more. Keen's spiritual advisors have been helping people find answers and clarity in their lives for nearly 25 years. And if you need balance, reassurance, Keen's vetted, best-in-class psychic advisors are available 24/7, and they've helped over 14 million people. And don't worry, every conversation is confidential, and you can connect by phone or online chat within minutes. And they even had a satisfaction guarantee, so there's no risk in trying it out. How cool is this? I'm so excited to try Keen and connect with my psychic advisor. I have so many questions to ask. I was looking over their website to check them out, and they have a lot of categories like psychic readings, financial guidance, tarot card readings, and even psychic mediums. It's so hard to pick just one, and I may use a few services a couple times. So give Keen a try, and I will too. Head to keen.com/girltalk and get your first 10 minutes connecting with a psychic advisor for just $1.99. Again, that's keen.com/girltalk for your first 10 minutes for just $1.99. Remember, this offer applies to the first 10 minutes of your call or chat with Keen Advisor and is valid for new customers only. We're going to move on to the next segment of the podcast, which is wow, 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 wow thoughts. When I'm with you, all I get is wild thoughts. We're going to do what would Rihanna do, because Rihanna's my icon. She's my queen. Whenever I'm feeling insecure, I'm always like, what would Rihanna do? And that's the advice I'm going to give to you right now. But the first question I thought was juicy as fuck. Let's get into it. we're not talking about finances no more, girl. We're going to be talking about, I found a nude of another girl on his phone that he took 5 years ago. Okay? ... Without her consent. I'm scared. Girl, I'm scared too. I'm fucking scared too. I feel like consent is a very basic human trait that everybody should have, but unfortunately, not everyone does. And it's the very low, very small-minded men, not even men, little boys that just don't know what it is. And I guess like nobody taught them that no means no. And you can't just like take a photo of someone naked without their fucking consent. That's illegal. That's literally fucking illegal. Like you can't just like do that shit. Even if it's like for your own private reasons, you never post it, you can't just like do that shit. I definitely would be a little bit weary of that person because consent is something that you just have. It's kind of like common sense. Like you just have it. So if that person doesn't have, you know, basic consent knowledge, I would definitely be a little bit nervous, and I would definitely bring it up and be like, hey, like I saw this nude on your phone and like it isn't concerning to me other than the fact that it looks like it was taken without her consent. And like if you ever take a photo of that, like that of me, I'm going to feel super uncomfortable. And just to let you know, that shit's illegal. Like you can't be doing that shit. And this is like basic consent. Like no means no. And like just because, you know, you didn't ask for something doesn't mean that you have permission to do it. I don't know. I take that shit really seriously. Like I wouldn't take that shit lightly. That's kind of like not cool. But yeah, I would definitely bring it up. And if not, then I would just ghost him because a little scary. Someone said, what to do when you feel like you need to change everything about your life. Girl, don't we all have those days? I literally have those days like every other day. I'm like, I am reinventing myself. I am going to be a brand new bitch. Like as of tomorrow, I fucking hate myself. Like, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I think it's just like about, you know, self-work and like realizing who you are and knowing who you are and not letting anyone take that shit away from you. Because if you know who you are, no one can take that shit away from you. Something that can help with like building your identity and helping you really truly love yourself is like, you know, make goals and like make a vision board. I made a YouTube video on how to make, every single year I think I make YouTube videos on how to make a vision board. And I kid you not, that shit isn't just arts and craft. Like that shit works. Like maybe I don't achieve like 100% of my goals, but I damn near accomplish at least 50% of them. And isn't that fucking crazy? Make a fucking vision board, you know, go on Pinterest, find an aesthetic that you like. And you know, I feel like nobody really knows 100% what they are or who they are. Even Ariana Grande, like in her one of her speeches, she was like, you know, this was the best year of my career and this was probably the worst year of my personal life, and I have absolutely no fucking clue what I'm doing with my life, and if you don't know what you're doing with your life, you're not alone. And I don't know, I really like admired that about her because, you know, you think of Ariana Grande and you're like, oh my God, she's like a millionaire, billionaire, she has her whole life figured out, she has millions of fans, like she just has her whole life figured out. But at the end of the day, nobody really does. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. No one knows what's going to happen in 5 years. No one knows what's going to happen in 20 years. And it's just a part of life. So I don't know. I think that there's kind of like beauty in the unknown, and kind of changing your perspective on it and like really learning to like love yourself and like, you know, all of the seasons and all of the eras that you've been in, and just creating goals and having a vision board. I think that will help. Oh, someone said, what is the pettiest thing that you could do to your ex? Ooh, I could get so steamy and so spicy with this one. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something that you probably don't want to hear. And I know you want to hear my toxic advice. And as much as I want to give my toxic advice, the pettiest thing that you could do to an ex is never acknowledge them ever again. Because, you know, I feel like, you know, we could do these petty things. We could slash their tires. We could light their house on fire. We could like do the craziest, gnarliest shit. Like, you know, carve your name in like the fucking the back of their car. I don't know. You could do the gnarliest shit. But I think the thing that drives exes the craziest, the absolute fucking craziest, is apathy. And what is apathy? It's the opposite of love. Nothing. Apathy is just like, I couldn't care less. I really could not care less what you're doing right now. Because, when you do these petty things, haha, I got under their skin. Haha, they're thinking about me. Haha, they're heartbroken. Blah, 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 blah. But how mind fucking is it that someone can be your everything one day and then it's just like business as normal after? It's just business as normal from here on out. And you don't hear from them and they seem completely fine. And they're not spiraling. They're not going to the club every single day. They're thriving. They're like in their career and they're thriving. How mind fucking is that? Like maybe they'll start thinking, hey, wait, like they're kind of thriving. Like, was I the problem? Was I holding them back? Like, why are they just doing good now? Like, I thought that I was the light in their life. I thought that I was like the thing that was building them up. I thought that I was like their purpose in life, but it turns out they're thriving without me. How much of a mind fuck is that? Anyways, I think that the pettiest thing that you could do to an ex is completely ignore them. Apathy, the definition of apathy is lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. That's what I feel like is the coolest thing and the pettiest thing that you can do to an ex is literally just focus on yourself, business as usual, fuck them, like you don't even think about them and you're kind of just like thriving without them. Oh, I like this question. How to make long distance work. Am I annoying? Do I say that every question? I love this question. I'm just looking through this. I like, yeah, I love this question. Someone said how to make long distance work. And as much as I fucking hate long distance, surprisingly enough, I mean, I don't know. I travel a lot. And the two relationships that I've ever been in, I've done long distance with both of them. And you know what really helps with long distance is, setting up dates. And this is super cute and like something that I like, just found out and like just started doing. I feel like we can lose the spark and we could kind of lose the, sexiness and the sexual attention when I'm not going on dates. At least for me, I feel like my love language, ultimate love language is acts of service. Acts of service gets me wet. It gets me like steamy. It makes me horny. Like if you take out the trash and I don't even ask, ooh, oh my God, panties are dripping. If you do the dishes and I don't even ask, ooh, oh my God, literally my pants are off. Acts of service is my like absolute favorite thing. And something that I feel like helps with long distance is being able to do acts of service. So like, planning dates, going on dates on FaceTime. And what I mean by that is like, maybe you set a specific time, like, hey, we're going to FaceTime at 8 p.m. my time, since it's 5 p.m. your time. And we're going to either cook the same thing or we're going to Uber Eats each other stuff. So like, I'm going to Uber Eats you a surprise and you're going to Uber Eats me a surprise. And I don't know, it's really cool. And you could do like dessert or you could like, cook the same food and be like, oh my God, this tastes so bad. Or, oh my God, this tastes so good. And like, spend quality time with each other. I think also spending quality time, like I think during quarantine, there was like this thing where you could watch Netflix shows at the same time and like FaceTime at the same time. I forget what it's called, but I think definitely setting up dates really helps. And also for me, I feel some sort of like peace when I know the next time I'm going to see them. So if we're doing long distance for like, X amount of time, I feel so much better knowing the exact date that I'm going to see them. That's why I don't know. And it's also better to like just book your flights in advance because it's going to be a lot cheaper. But knowing the exact date just like gives me peace of mind, because when I'm like, oh, I'm probably going to see you like next month, but like, I don't really know. And like, blah, 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 blah. You're like, when are you going to book your flight? Blah, 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 blah. Knowing the exact date, I'm like, oh my God, I get to see you in 2 weeks. I'm like so excited. I'm like counting down. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I think those things have really helped me with long distance. And it's the acts of service for me. It's the acts of service for fucking me, bitch. The next question, I think it will be the last question. I think it's really cool. I saw Victoria Paris do a video like this on TikTok, and she basically said, the question is how to ask for a raise. And Victoria Paris, I think I have to find the video that she was talking about this, but she basically was like, women are underpaid. Whatever if you're looking for a new job or you're looking to transfer jobs or looking, for whatever, and they kind of like, I don't think they're allowed to ask you what you make as a salary, but they can ask you like what salary you would be comfortable with. always, 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 if you're a woman, always say 20% more than what you're making right now, because women are always getting paid less than men, and we're always getting underpaid and we're always getting undervalued. So if you're a woman and you're looking for a new job, always ask for that 20% more. How to ask for a raise. I think I don't really know how to give advice with this, but just know that if you're a woman, 100% you should be asking for money or more money, because probably 90% of the time you're probably getting underpaid, and your male counterparts are probably getting paid a little bit more than you, which sucks, but it's life, and we just have to ask for more money. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to do one more question. Someone said, how do you break up with a nice guy? I'm just not feeling it anymore. And I thought that this was kind of a good question to put in this podcast episode, because I think this really has to do with all relationships. How do you break up with a nice guy? How do you break up with like that nice coworker? How do you break up with that, nice person that you work with, if you're just not feeling it anymore? And maybe they didn't do anything bad. They didn't cheat on you. They didn't do you wrong. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. But you just know that it's not working out. It's not, nobody's benefiting from the relationship. Nobody's benefiting in your career. Nobody's benefiting from this situation. And it just needs to end. I've struggled with this so much in my life. My life coach always tells me, Adeline, you're such a loyal person. You're loyal to a fault, to a point where it's like you let people that have been around with you like almost kind of like take advantage of you because of the fact that they've, been around in your life for so long. And it's okay to, break things off with people, even when they're nice. They don't have to do anything bad for you to like cut off of your life. They don't have to, cheat on you or like do anything crazy or like, outlandish for you to realize that it's just not working out anymore. And this is something that I've struggled with so much. I struggle with like just being comfortable with people and comfortability and relationships. And, I'm always like, I don't know. I feel like, this person's always complaining about working, but like, hey, like they've been with me for 2 years and like they're really loyal and like they were really good in the beginning and blah, blah, blah. And, it's the same with relationships. This person was so good in the beginning. I'm thinking back about it and like all the good memories we had. I'm looking back at my camera roll. Look how much we're smiling. Like he makes me so happy. I swear he makes me so happy. But today you're not happy and it's not working out. And that, something needs to, it's almost like you wish that they would cheat. You wish that something would happen. You wish that they would fuck up. You wish that, because it would make it easier to end the relationship because it needs to end. This is something that I struggle with, and I'm like giving advice, but it's like I'm like giving advice to myself. But I think at the end of the day, if your gut is telling you and your body is telling you, sometimes I feel like my body knows when a relationship is over before my head knows. If your gut is telling you something, you have to listen to it, and you have to listen to your intuition because it's telling you that for a reason. And maybe it's not logical and maybe it like doesn't make sense right now, but if your body's feeling it, girl, you have to trust your intuition. You have to trust your gut. So how would you break up with someone that's like break up with a nice guy? It's really, really sad. But again, I would just do like, a compliment sandwich. Hey, I really love you. And I love spending all the time that we spent together. I love looking back at all the memories, and you're an amazing person. I will love you forever. But I just feel like it's not working out right now. I feel like, maybe you feel like it's not working out right now, and, it's kind of an awkward thing to talk about, but I'm just not, feeling it anymore. And I feel like this is a really amazing chapter, and we had really amazing memories, but we need to close this chapter and move on. And again, I appreciate you. I will always love you. But I think that this is for sure a chapter that we need to end. I don't know. Compliment what you need to say. Compliment. That's why we call it compliment sandwich. I always say this with everything. But Yeah, it goes with everything. It goes with relationships. It goes with friendships. It goes with, business partners. It goes with people that you work with. It goes with everything. And I don't know if this is just like a me thing, but I have struggled with this so much. And it's like so easy to tell you, like, trust your gut, like blah, 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 blah. But it's like, it's hard when someone is nice, and it's hard when, they haven't done anything wrong. And like, it's hard when, there's no like crazy specific reason. They haven't cheated on you. They haven't done anything. But what I've learned is your gut tells you, your body tells you when the other person doesn't have good intentions, and maybe they don't show it. Maybe there's no specific reason. Maybe they haven't done you dirty, but it's kind of sad. But every single time that I've listened to my gut with someone that I think has bad intentions, but they haven't done anything wrong, when things end, it's when their ugly side comes out. And that's when, people try to sue you, and people try to take things that you have. And like, it's like when their greedy and ugly side comes out. And I look back at like the relationships that I was so loyal to, and I was like, wow, like, in the relationship, I would have never imagined how they treated me at the end of this relationship. But, being in the situation that I'm in now, I'm like, I am so glad that I listened to my gut. I'm so glad that I listened to my gut and I ended that relationship, because imagine if that relationship progressed even further. Imagine if they took more years out of my life. Imagine they took, more months out of my life. Imagine, whatever. And now I'm like at a place where I'm like, okay, that person is out of my life. I've learned from my mistakes. Next time I feel that gut feeling of, this needs to end, and, this person isn't a good fit for my life anymore, I really need to listen and trust my gut. But I think that concludes the end of this Girl Talk episode. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode of just finances, things that I've learned from being around 20-year-old entrepreneurs and millionaires. I hope that you take away anything, from this podcast. Hopefully you've learned something. And if not, then girl, hopefully you learned it in the real world, because I fucking had to. I always feel like I get advice from my friends, and like sometimes I don't necessarily like trust them or like take their advice, and then I have to learn it in the real world, and I'm like, damn, yep, I definitely should have listened to you. And they're like, yep, I told you so. But I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to podcasts, make sure to rate my podcast. It means a lot, and it helps me a lot. So make sure to rate the podcast. And yeah, I love you guys. And I guess I'll talk to you next time. It's literally 5 a.m. What the fuck is wrong with me? I didn't want to say it at the beginning of the episode because I didn't want you guys thinking that I was like tired, but I'm definitely slurring my words and mumbling, and I'm so sorry. I was like, I don't know, acting really like tired in this video, but my camera's about to die. I'm always here if you need to talk. Every Wednesday, I'll be here. Same place, same time. Love you guys. Did you like that episode? I really hope that you did. If you haven't already, then make sure to watch last week's episode or the week after. Just click on the links, whatever it is. And I hope that you guys enjoyed. Also, be sure to subscribe because it helps me a lot. But I love you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.
Feel it rush, sipping on Hawaiian punch. Squeeze the sides, feel it rush, sipping on Hawaiian punch. Know you like all this gush? Oh no, you can't get enough. Sipping on Hawaiian